So the design brief for this project came to us. Came from a product supplier, the timber product supplier, and the owner wanted to build a small holiday space for him, plus to showcase the product that they've been doing. The project had a definite dual purpose. One was for it to be a holiday house, and the other was to show off the product that it's built from. It's a showcase of New Zealand craft and timber in an alpine environment. So the nature of the Cardrona Valley environment is we're in an alpine environment, and in New Zealand we have very high UV. So this space really puts buildings to the test. We're 600 metres or so above sea level up here. We get very cold winters, it snows, it frosts, and we have very high UV. So one of the things that we wanted to do was show this product working in this environment. So we've put the timber on the roof to kind of test it out to the best that it can. So yeah, it's a really harsh environment for what we're doing. One of the things as an architect, when I first heard about the product and hearing about it being made out of radiata pine, radiata pine traditionally is known as a timber that twists and warps and needs chemicals to be durable. Whereas this has taken some technology and changing its cell structure, is turning it into, and the way that they're cutting it and presenting the grains of it is not only changing it to make it a much more durable timber, it's also adding a beautiful quality to it. So I guess the challenge for the project is it had to be built inside out, because the studs went up first and the cladding went on last. So the stud work, the lining, then the membrane, and then the cladding on the outside. So it was built in a massive tent. Some of the unique features of this project are the monolithic presentation of the project right on the street front. So when you're driving up and down, it's quite an abstract form that's just sitting there in the landscape. So another thing that you notice when you kind of come to this building or pass driving on the street is that it doesn't have a clear scale to it. So we were trying to take the traditional shed forms, which are part of the Cardrona Valley kind of vernacular, but presented in a more contemporary way. So we have one opening that you can see from the outside, which is the one door like the old sheds, but really until you come into the space you can't tell the size and scale of it, because we've removed all the window details and the gutter details and the barge details. It's just a very pure little form that sits there on the street side. The cladding in this building is quite unique. It's a rain screen, which means that what you're seeing on the outside is not the primary line of water defence. It's a decorative screen that goes over the top, and it's great because we can hide all the kind of big details which are kind of usually a bit ugly, and that's another layer in behind. So that's allowed us to put it up on the roof. So we've got the timber on the roof and the walls, and the water actually comes through the roof, and it's a membrane, it's a torch-on applied membrane, so the water rolls over the roof, down the walls, and the gutter is actually hidden in the gravel on the ground. So because it's a timber building, we were really interested in craft, because timber and craft go hand in hand. And New Zealand actually has some fantastic crafts people that understand timber and how to make it work. So what we wanted to do was celebrate craft. We wanted to take traditional building methodologies, but expose those and express them and make it beautifully crafted. So what's really, it's a bit of a chapel in here. You come in and it feels like a chapel to craft. This is a fully functioning holiday hut, essentially. So you come into the main space through the main door, and there's a large living space. Next to that is a dining area, and then a little minimal kitchen at the end, which has got all the cooking and fridge and things tucked into it that you'd need when you're on holiday. So next to the living space, there's a special bit of joinery that we designed, which is specifically to showcase the product. So all the different cladding ranges and all the different types of timbers that they have are on these pull-out drawers that show you a sample of that wall. There's a small bathroom with a shower and everything that you'd need. Opposite that is a full functioning laundry. Behind that at the back, there is an open plan space which is currently used as an office, but that's big enough to build some bunks into. And from there it leads up to a loft space where you can have a big master bedroom. But it is very much a kind of a camping hut type facility. So it's all open plan, there's no doors, you can hear things. It's that capturing that holiday that you used to have going up into the huts. On the outside, the form is really abstracted. You can't tell that there's any windows. It looks like it's a windowless space. But when you come onto the inside, you see these tall, thin slots of glass that have got the battens that are continuing on the outside. So we very much wanted to make this an interior space. It was really featuring and focusing on the inside, and also to play with that light as it happened on the outside. When it comes to cost, when people do ask the question about cost, this is a little bit like a really good chicken stock. So we've boiled it down and reduced it, so we've kept the same amount of cost in the project, but we've boiled it down to a much smaller project. So this has a very high cost per square metre because it's a very high quality design. This has been a fantastic project. We've really enjoyed this, and it's great to have something that's quite public on the front that people can see it, and just the resolution, to give the builders the credit. There's a huge amount of dimensional set out and effort that we put into this project, and to see it executed as well as it has been amazingly rewarding.